Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. So before I start what we're doing tonight, I just wanted to give a big thank you to everybody that showed up to the meet this past Saturday. I really appreciated everybody coming out. It was super humbling to see just the people come out and just, you know, all the nice words and everything that they had to say about the channel and I guess about me as well. But super appreciative. Thank you guys so much. It was a lot of fun. I'm actually hoping to do something again in the fall. I would like to at least. Once it gets a little bit cooler and everything, and maybe we can do a drive or something like that. But overall, it was a success. It was about 30 cars that came, so it was a good amount. It wasn't crazy, it didn't get out of hand. Everyone was super respectful. Nobody did anything stupid, which was really nice because I was kind of worried that there was going to be some people that came and just, you know, did some stupid stuff and ruined it for everybody. But everyone was super respectful. Everyone, you know, we all felt like we knew each other, which was really nice. So again, I'm really hoping to do more of them in the future. And I think a lot of people had a lot of fun, and it was nice to put some faces to names and everything. All these people that I talk to all the time, really cool. And thanks for all the kind words about the car. I'm really happy that I was finally able to kind of get the car out and you know, have people take a look. It's been a while since I've been able to do anything like that. Really cool. And again, thank you so much for showing up and just kind of hanging out with me for a couple hours on Saturday. On to the video. Well, first off, a little addition to the garage. I got a little TV up in here. This is actually a spare TV that we had in our spare bedroom, which is now our third child's nursery. So I figured I would throw it up in the garage. Really nice. I'm actually able to, you know, catch up on some YouTube videos and stuff that I never get a chance to watch anymore, and you know, just throw some up on Netflix when I'm doing work out here or washing the cars. So it's really nice just to have something here. It's comforting. It's one of those things that I've always wanted to do. Obviously it's a little small. I think this is only 32 inch. I would love to get something bigger at some point, but hey, it was free. I had this TV for like 10-15 years or something like that. So it's still hanging on. It's an old Samsung. And it's really nice. It doesn't have any glare out here because it's an old LCD screen. So it works perfectly out here with the bright lights. But that's not what the video is about. Tonight, we're actually going to be installing the Grimmspeed top mount intercooler silicone kit. I already have the Grimmspeed top mount intercooler on my car, but I'm still running the stock boots. So the stock throttle body boot and the stock Y pipe hose down there. Pain in the butt to do this, but is something that I probably should have done when I installed that. Now, one of the reasons why I didn't install it at first when I put the intercooler on, you know, a couple months ago, was I wanted to keep everything OEM as possible. Using the stock couplers and hoses and everything, you know, I really wanted to keep that OEM fitment where it just everything slid on nice. It was a little bit more difficult to get this bigger intercooler onto the turbo inlet down there, and that hose down there kind of took a beating. It gets chewed up. It's very flimsy, and they're kind of known to kind of fray and get old over time. Not that this is old and it really needs to be replaced, but you know, taking this thing on and off, it's got a little chewed up. So I figured I would upgrade to the proper Grimmspeed kit. So it comes with the throttle body hose as well as the Y pipe or turbo inlet hose. These are much thicker, much stronger. These are silicone. I think the stock ones are just made out of rubber. This one's a little bit stronger. It's not entirely rubber. It has some reinforcement inside, so it's a little bit stronger. But I went with black. I believe you can get a red, but I decided to go with black just to keep it, you know, clean, just, you know, with everything else. But it comes with new hose clamps and everything. So relatively, this is a very simple install. It's literally just taking the top mount off, slipping on the new couplers and putting it back on. But I know the top mount intercooler is a pain in the butt to reinstall. I've taken this thing off quite a few times, actually. I took it off last week to get something done as well. So I've gotten much better at it. It goes much quicker, but we'll see how it goes with the new couplers on there. Hopefully I don't run into any trouble and it gives me a hard time, which it probably will. But it's all part of the game, all part of the fun. So let's go ahead and get the top mount off. We just got 2 bolts on the outside that hold onto the brackets. Got to take off the bypass valve bolts right here. And you got the coupler right here and down there. Taking that bracket off right here as well gives a lot more room to take it off and as well putting back in. So I definitely recommend doing that. And I also need to remove the parent strut bar. So that is not normally something that you need to do if you're not running that, but I am. So it's just 4 Allen screws on the top mounts right there. Comes right out, super simple. So let's go ahead, get this removed, and let's get the new couplers on. got the intercooler off, super simple. Taking it off is the easiest part. Putting it back on is the hardest part. Really funny, I'm actually working on a top mount intercooler and I'm catching up on Tanner Smedia, who absolutely hates top mounts. If you ask him about top mounts, I'm sure he'll voice his opinion on these things, but but all right, let's go ahead. Let's remove these two. This is the Y pipe that connects to the turbo, and this is the one that connects to the throttle body. So very, very easy. As you can see, these are much higher quality, much thicker silicone. These are gonna last a long time. This one's made of rubber. It has some reinforcements inside, but as you can see, it's kind of getting chewed up. And it just looks kind of grimy and, you know, it's so much more pliable. It's just much stronger, much thicker. It's going to last probably forever. So definitely something I would recommend. They do also sell a new Y pipe, but they didn't have it in stock at the time. So I'm sure once it comes back in stock, I'll have to do this again and replace the Y pipe. But for now, I'm just going to get this the silicone kit on, super easy. So let's go ahead, unbolt these, bolt them up, and hopefully the top mount doesn't give us too much trouble getting it back on the car. So this literally just peels right off. So that one just pops off. This one you just have to unscrew, slide it off, same thing. And then we're gonna slide this on. We're gonna make sure that the Grimmspeed logo is faced up, so you can see the nice logo when it's in the car. And yeah, so let's go ahead, get this one removed, slip everything on, and get it back on the car. Hose on. With this one, I actually found it a little bit easier if you actually put it on the actual throttle body first and then put the intercooler on. But it's simply just going to look like that on the actual intercooler. But like I said, it's much easier, I've found, to put it on the throttle body first. So if we go over here and just stick it on, and then it's much easier to pop the intercooler up here than it is to get this on the throttle body with it on the intercooler, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put this right on here, get my little hose clamps, and yeah, try to get this thing back on with, hopefully it doesn't give me any issues. So here we go, crossing my fingers. Quick little update. So it looks like you have to trim this. So you have to trim about that much off or so. Because basically when you match it up to this, it was just way too long, and I was able to get it back onto the turbo inlet, but it was so far over this way that it just, no matter what you did, it would kink the hose and it just was not fitting right. So I looked up some reviews and everything on the kit, and everybody said you have to trim it. I thought that was a little strange. I figured this would come you know, pre-cut to basically to fit the stock Y pipe or the Grimmspeed Y pipe. But I guess they keep it a certain length so you can do any custom work if you have to or anything. But I felt that was a little weird that you needed to trim something that is supposed to fit the stock Y pipe. But yeah, either way, all I did was just kind of measure it up to the stock one, and we are good to go now. So I trimmed the back part. This is the part you're going to see. You know, when you look down at the hose, you're going to be able to see that. This part will be tucked under, so you're not going to be able to see that really. But I cut it pretty cleanly. Obviously, it's a little frayed and stuff, but yeah, I thought that was a little weird. So, all right, let's go ahead and throw this back on. And for anybody that is having trouble getting this back on, what you need to do is actually have this coupler kind of facing up this way or down once you flip it around. But if you have the intercooler flipped upside down, you want it facing this way, away from the intercooler. Because if you have it too close, it's not going to be able to get on. Once you have it kind of angled up that way, it'll go on much easier. So a little tidbit. Let's go ahead, throw it back on the car and be done with this project because I am done with it. We are done. Man, that's probably about, I don't know, an hour and a half later. So like I said, I ended up having to trim the Y pipe coupler down there a decent amount. So this is the amount that I trimmed off. I can't measure everything, but it was probably about anywhere from a ½ inch to about 3/4 of an inch, maybe even up to an inch with everything put together. But it was a decent amount. The Grimmspeed was probably about out to here. Otherwise, the entire intercooler was shifted over this way. No matter what you did, if you pushed the intercooler this way, if you didn't trim it, it would pinch the coupler down there. And, you know, it just pretty much made it useless, which was I don't know. I thought it was a little crazy, but I trimmed it enough and now it actually goes on very, very easily. I didn't get any footage of that because I was so frustrated with having to take it off, trim it, take it off, trim it. But literally after I got it trimmed to the right length, it pops right on. I can take this thing on and off super easy. And the main reason for that is because the couplers are actually thicker, so it pops on easier. The stock one is so flimsy and squishy, so when you try to slip it onto the turbo inlet, it just folds and gets really, really difficult. And when you push, the whole thing flexes. The Grimmspeed one, it just pops right on as soon as you get the right angle and the right length. So really, really happy about that. Hopefully I don't have to take this back off again. I really don't really see the need to, unless I want to change that Y pipe, which I don't think I'm going to do after I experience that. I really don't think there's a benefit to it. But if you just got the intercooler and you want to install it, I would just get the whole entire thing, you know, the Grimmspeed Y pipe and the Grimmspeed couplers and everything, just to kind of do it all at once, get it all knocked out. That's the install. Pain in the butt, but I got it done. I'm really happy about it. I was kind of dreading it just because of getting that one back on the turbo inlet, but everything is on. It looks really, really nice. Wasn't really expecting it to update in the look of the engine bay that much, but removing that red coupler down there and having the nice Grimmspeed black hose down there, looks a little bit nicer and updated. And I really like the little Grimmspeed logos on there. And you can represent the brand right there. Looks really clean. I really like the black and white. Obviously, it matches the engine bay very nicely. Another benefit to doing these couplers that I didn't mention earlier is once you start pushing more boosts, the hoses and the couplers actually expand. So the stock couplers, they're made of much thinner and weaker material. So when you're pushing more boost, they actually expand and you can actually not hit your peak boost. You can have issues and not just reaching the power that the car has potential for. So getting something a little bit stronger only solidifies the fact that you will reach your peak boost all times. You won't have any boost leaks. And it won't break down. So it's going to keep your peak boost and it's going to last a very long time. And plus it looks really, really nice. So the next installs that I have to do are the Cartboy short shift bushing kit. I also have the AWE touring exhaust coming in with the new Grimmspeed gasket. I also have the RK titanium radiator hose, which goes right here, which should look really, really nice with all the other titanium I have in the car. I actually might be swinging up to RT tuning this week. I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to see if they can get me in. I do have a little bit of a rattle somewhere around here, and I wanted them to take a look at it. It's nothing crazy, and I couldn't really see anything here, so I figured I would just shoot up there and see if they can take a look, since they installed all the stage 3 stuff. So they may have an idea of what is actually causing the little rattle. But I'm gonna probably get that sorted out, and I might have them do the radiator hose just because it's there. And it's gonna be super simple. So I might just have them do it. I don't know, we'll see. I would like to install it, but doing coolant mods, doing coolant hoses and stuff like that, it's just a pain in the butt. It's super messy. So it might be worth it just to have them do it and get it knocked out there. But I will update you guys on that decision and what I decide to do and kind of what's going on with the car and all that, as I always do. But I'm going to end this video here. Nothing too exciting, nothing too crazy. But again, these videos are just about kind of updating you what I'm doing in the garage. I try to get out here most nights, try to do something to the car, film a little video for you guys and just kind of keep you in the loop of what I'm doing. I'm not putting a giant rotated kit or anything on, just simply doing some couplers. But I like doing these videos because a lot of people can relate to them. Just little stuff that I'm doing in the garage and, making videos for you guys. And a lot of you enjoy that kind of progress that I'm doing with these videos. So if you guys have any questions at all about the coupler kit or anything else on the car, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she icy. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the dome and just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If you're down in my management, I'm just warming up, wait till I old producer saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up, talk of the town when you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things when your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up. Nowadays nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's